So, hi everyone. In this video, I'm gonna talk about saving images in Android Q, because in Android Q there is a new way to save your images. It's pretty easy and straightforward. So let me create a new project. I'm gonna name it as saving image in Android Q. Okay. So as of now, the Android Q is the latest version of the Android operating system. So now here I'm gonna specify the package name. This is the package name. The language is Java. The minimum API level is API 16, Android 4.1 Jelly Bean. And I'm gonna change the location here to somewhere else. So notice that as I changed the path of my location, notice that I had to copy and paste the name of the project here after this slash here. So I'm gonna save my project inside the Android Studio projects folder. And here it's gonna create a new folder with the name of this project, saving image in Android Q. So whenever you want to change the location of your project, make sure to always put the project name after the slash, the forward slash. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's create the project now. So on Google, I searched for Android Java how to store image directly. And here, the first link didn't help me because it was asked in 2011. And I searched for other questions, and take a look at this one, how to save an image in Android Q using Media Store. So this question is asked on July 5, 2019. So I'm gonna take a look at it and see whether this helped me or not. And so here it is, the question, and let me scroll down here. You can see that we've got now an accepted answer. Try the next method. Android Q already takes care of creating the folders if they don't exist. The example is hard-coded to output into the pictures folder. If you need a subfolder, then append the subfolder name as text. So here it is actually specifying the location of the image you want to save. We've got the directory pictures, then we have a file separator, and then we've got the subfolder name, okay? And here it says, consider that the compressed format should be related to the MIME type parameter. For example, with a JPEG compressed format, the MIME type would be image/JPEG, and so on. So here, this is a way to store an image in Android Q, okay? So here, for example, we've got some comments, and one of them is saying that, oh, this was tested on Android Pie, not Q. So here it says, he says that, so what I should do instead is check for Android version, and if it is Q, do the code above, and if it is lower, use the usual deprecated code. And we've got the answer here, yes. For older than Q, you need to use your original code. Your code is deprecated only on Android Q, but valid in older versions. Okay, so if you're targeting the Android Q, this is the way to save your image. This is you can just copy and paste this code in your project. But if you are you can check for the Android version, and if you're targeting the lower versions of Android operating system, lower than Android Q, then you can use the old way to store the images. Okay, so this is how you do it. And I can simply go and copy this code here, and I'm gonna go back to my Android Studio inside the main activity here, and I'm gonna paste this code here. So this here, it is showing me the location of this of the image that I'm gonna save. Okay, so I have copied this code here, and I'm gonna go back to Android Studio, and then inside my main activity class, I'm gonna paste this code, this method actually. So as I paste this code here, it's gonna do the importing process for me. You can see that it has imported some bundles, some libraries, some classes here, and then you will see that our method is here. There is no error. Save bitmap. This is the method we can use to store our image. Okay. Now I just need an image. So here inside the onCreate method, I'm gonna say save bitmap. So first and foremost, we need to pass the context. I'm gonna say this as the context, comma. So next we need to pass the bitmap. So we don't have the bitmap yet. We're gonna create it later. For now, I just passed a temporary value. After the bitmap, we need to pass the compressed format. So I'm gonna say compress format dot JPEG, okay, comma. Next, we need to specify the MIME type. So let me go back to my Stack Overflow post here. Notice that this post, the person who created this post said that consider that the compressed format should be related to the MIME type parameter. For example, with a JPEG compressed format, the MIME type would be image/JPEG. So I'm just gonna copy this string value and I'm gonna go back here. So for the MIME type, which is of type string, I'm gonna paste this value here, comma. So what if the compressed format was PNG? Then you, instead of JPEG, you need to say PNG here. Hopefully that makes sense. Now we've got the display name. So for the display name, I'm gonna say my image, comma. Next, we've got, so that's it. This is the display name is the final argument, and that's it. So now we just need to specify the bitmap. Now we need to have a bitmap so we can pass it here. In order to have the bitmap, first I need to have an image in my resources folder here. So let's go ahead and download an image and then paste it here inside the drawable folder. So you can go to pixabay.com and here you can download some free images. I'm just gonna download this image of this flower, free download, and then you can see that the extension is JPG or JPEG. I'm gonna download one of these versions and click on download. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and add this image to my project. But make sure that there is no invalid characters in your image names. So here it is, the image name, and as you can see, there is an invalid character in my image name, this dash here. I'm gonna remove this name to something else. I'm gonna just say rose as the name of my image, rose.jpg. Okay, so now I'm gonna copy this image, Command C or Control C if you're using Windows. Go here, paste this image here inside the drawable folder and click on OK. When you do that again here, it's gonna give you the option to rename this image, okay? So it doesn't matter whether you do it somewhere else or here, you just need to make sure that there is no invalid characters in your image names, and I'm just gonna click on OK. Now the image is added to the drawable folder. Now it's time to create a bitmap from the resources that we have here. Again, you don't have to do it yourself. You can simply go online in Google, just search for your problem, and at the end of your search, make sure to put the word Stack Overflow. Okay, so let's do it together, and we're gonna learn about this trick that I frequently use to solve my programming problems. So I went to Google and I searched for this. Get bitmap from resource Android Stack Overflow. Okay, now let's go ahead and click on the first link that appears. And here we've got the code. We can simply get this code, this accepted answer. I can go to Android Studio. Before calling the save bitmap method, I'm gonna paste this code here. Bitmap factory.decode resource, get resource r.drawable dot rows. So this should be our image name. And then I'm gonna pass the BM here. That's it. But now we are facing another problem. So here, if I hover over this red line here, it says unhandled exception, java.io exception. That's because this method save bitmap, it throws an exception. So we have to handle this exception whenever we want to call it. So I'm gonna put this method inside the try catch block. I'm gonna say try, and inside the try block, I'm gonna call this method, and I'm gonna create catch. Inside the parentheses of the catch, I'm gonna catch this specific exception, IO exception. I'm gonna copy it and put it inside the parentheses. Let's name it E, and then open and close the curly braces. So I can say e.print stack trace. So now we can go ahead and run the program. But first, let me talk about this location, this variable we have here. If you want to create a subfolder for your image, you can use this variable as the location of your image. But here, notice that inside the body of this save bitmap method, we already have this variable here. So it will save the image inside the directory pictures. So we are not using this variable here. I'm just gonna comment it out so you know that we have the option to create a subfolder for our image inside the pictures directory. Now here, make sure that you have selected the correct phone. So I'm gonna test this image on API 29, and then I'm gonna run this project. So let's wait and see what will happen next. So now the program is running and the onCreate method is already called. So this means that the save bitmap method is called. Now let's go and see whether this image is saved or not. Okay, so I just need to go to the pictures directory. I'm just gonna go ahead and find the files folder, and then let's see. So you can see that we have this image here, my image.jpg here saved in my device. So hopefully that makes sense. This is how you save an image in Android Q. And that's it. If you have any other questions, please post a discussion in the course. I will do my best to answer your questions or maybe create tutorials so that you get the idea. And thank you very much for watching.